The world doesn't need any more shitty products. The world needs deep presence. And as a creative, we have the beautiful opportunity to imbue the depth of who we are through our work. Whether that be a product you create, a pair of blue jeans, or a song that you craft for the world, or a service that you provide to your local community, it doesn't matter. The more of your deep presence and the level of your embodiment inside of that will determine your true value of the work that you are and the brand that you're building. So in this video, I really want to explore how safety, coherence, and alignment really make you magnetic, both creatively and commercially. So if you're new here, my name is Kev. I'm an award-winning furniture designer, and I help ambitious creatives get into their body. So I want to open with this idea that your nervous system is your brand. Because people crave that raw, real connection now more than ever. Everyone is so lost in the online digital world and staring at their phones and AI and all of these fucking things that are way out there, that what is deeply, deeply yearned for is deep connection. And that is only made available through presence, embodiment, and a attunement to your nervous system. So what I mean by embodiment, attunement to your nervous system, is how you can be grounded and connected in yourself in any moment, and how you can choose to lead not from a place of need, I need to prove something, I need to get something, but from a place of desire. How can I give? And you do so from connection and a heart openness that is just magnetic, right? There's some deep quality in people that embody that level of presence and connection with themselves, where they are calm, they're grounded amidst the kind of turbulence of life, and they have the capacity to show up and give and create. That is what sets you up to be a powerful, recognizable, and legendary brand, artist, whatever it is that you do, right? Because the more that we can lead from the inside out, not from the outside in, the more that we're able to build a movement of something that is deeply valuable. It's not just how pretty something looks, it's not just how well something works, it's the deep quality inside of it that can't really be put into words. It's like the Tao, right? The Tao that can be spoken is not the true Tao. So speaking about this level of nervous system regulation and embodiment is like dancing about architecture. It's just not going to cut it. But here I am trying, right? So you become magnetic when you create not from a place of output, productivity, or what you think the world wants. You create from a place of what feels in deep connection and alignment to you and your purpose. And from that level of depth, your work becomes so much more full-bodied, right? The tones, the flavors, the textures of your work in whatever medium or outlet you work with, you know, whether you're speaking on a stage, guiding other men, or whether you are a large-scale metal artist, it doesn't matter. The quality of your work reaches a whole different dimension because it has that dimension of presence in it. It has that dimension of deep thoughtfulness and feeling and somatic resonance inside of it. And I know these are just words, right? Like, you have to feel them in your body, but this is the best I can express through the transmission of a video like this, where I'm looking at a camera, I'm not actually looking at a human, right? But all that to say, when we really understand that our brand is not what we create, but how we create, we gain access to a whole new world of possibilities. It's where you realize that all that is ever really asked of you is to be present And when you finally get into deep presence, what you create is naturally so much more magnetic. It has so much more you inside of it, and not the insecure you, not the wounded little boy or girl version of you. It has the deeply connected, grounded, expansive, creative version of you inside of it. However messy and imperfect that version of you is showing up in this moment, right? The goal isn't to be, quote, perfect about it. The goal is just to be connected. Sometimes when you're connected to yourself, it's messy, because you realize, I'm a hot mess right now. And that is welcome. That is all welcome and okay. And so this makes your creative work so much more expansive, but it also makes the way you engage commercially so much more expansive. Now you can bet your sweet cheeks that this isn't an overnight change. Shifting your nervous system states, expanding your window of tolerance, learning how to stay regulated in a moment of trigger that used to, 1 year ago, blow you to kingdom come and fry your nervous system and just make you do all sorts of insecure things that you can now respond to consciously with your feet on the ground. That takes work, right? But the way this impacts your commercial value and your commercial potential is this weird kind of unconscious thing that I can't quite explain. But the more you come into your body in regulation, you have a deeper sense of trustworthiness about you. You have a deeper felt sense of integrity, connection to self, of just being a stand for your values and your mission. And people will pick up on that and want to give you more money for whatever it is that you do. I could explain it for hours and hours and hours, but that's just the unconscious quality that happens when you really ground into your body. When you are really present with your breath, your emotions, what's alive in your body, and you know how to contain them and work with them. So much of the world is just numb from the neck down. They're repressed. They're unconsciously not allowing themselves to be connected, which I know how that goes. And if that's you, there is absolutely a way forward. But that doesn't have that deep sense of trustworthiness exuding from you, You might live a good life. You might get cool work. You might be able to express yourself on large scales if that's what you crave. But there will be something off, some quality that is leaving you a little unfulfilled. And that quality, in my experience, although I've only been on the earth for so long, is the fulfillment that comes when you are fully present with life and you are giving your gifts fully each day. That only comes online when you are leading with your nervous system, when you are attuned to your own felt experience of reality, and you are accepting the challenge of doing the hard work to be present with yourself, to give, and to remain in a state, not to remain in a state, but to be able to return to your state of depth when you start to drop the ball, when you start to lose it, when you start to inevitably be swayed by life. The goal isn't to always be peaceful. The goal is just to be connected to yourself and in your center. Because from that place, you create the best work. That's why your nervous system is really your brand. When you are connected to yourself, you are in alignment. You're tuned to your nervous system and you are regulated. And you can create beautiful, impactful work for the world. So that's what I want you all to consider and reframe your creative work as. What if it's not your work that is what matters? What if it's not necessarily the industry, the whatever? What if it's just the state of your nervous system, the how you create that matters the most? Try that on for size. Experiment with that for the next 30 days. See how it impacts the way you show up at your job, the way you run your business, the way you show up in relationships, and write me back because I'd love to know. And you can take this work much, much deeper with the Embodied Creator Toolkit. The link's in the description below. But in the meantime, please sign up for the free resource of my newsletter. That's a great little Thursday drop for you guys, that you guys get free practices and stories and wisdom that'll help take you to the next level creatively and in your body. And in the meantime, thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate you, and I value you deeply, and I'm so stoked to be here. Ciao!